Hey Lions fans! I'm here to bring you all the inside scoop on our Detroit Lions, and you won't want to miss a second of it. There's a lot to unpack, starting with some of Nick Wright's saucy thoughts on our man Jared Goff, so be sure to hit that like button to stay in the know and I'll tell you all about it. So, here's the deal. Jared Goff was on fire against the Jacksonville Jaguars, delivering a flawless performance that earned him a perfect 158.3 passer rating. That's not something you see every day, folks. And if that wasn't enough, Goff has led this team to 50-plus points twice this season. However, despite this MVP-level showing, there are still skeptics. One of them? Nick Wright. On a recent episode of First Things First, Wright doubled down on his skepticism about Goff, saying, "I don't think you can be the best team in the league when you have a civilian at quarterback. I can't say this team, with Jared Goff at quarterback, is better than the Chiefs or the Bills. I can't, I won't. Ouch." Wright believes the Lions can't win 3 playoff games with Goff at the helm. What do you think, Lions fans? Because that's a debate that's heating up. Now, let's focus on the facts. Goff hasn't just bounced back, he's silenced his critics, at least for now. Coming off a tough game in which he threw 5 interceptions against the Texans, he roared back with a performance for the ages. He wasn't just making plays with his arm, he even showed some mobility, rushing for 21 yards on 4 carries. Amick Robertson had some fun with that, calling Goff the #1 dual-threat quarterback today. Lions fans, is this new dimension to Goff's game making him an elite signal caller? Let me know in the comments. Turning the spotlight back to the big picture, this isn't just about a great performance. The Lions are making history. Detroit currently boasts the best DVOA, defense-adjusted value over average, in the league. What does that mean? Simply put, the Lions aren't just good, they're historically good. Since DVOA began being tracked in 1979, our Lions rank as the 3rd best team through 10 games, behind only the 2007 Patriots and the 1991 Washington team, both of which had historic seasons. Think about that for a second. We're an elite company. Every unit is clicking. Offense, defense, special teams, they're all in the top 10. We just became the 3rd team in 83 years to win a game by at least 46 points after trailing at some point. That's a stat you can't ignore. When you add it all up, it's not hard to see why the Lions are now considered serious Super Bowl contenders for the first time in franchise history. Yep, you heard that right. Want more? Jared Goff's monster game against Jacksonville was just the 2nd time in NFL history that a player has thrown for at least 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and achieved a perfect passer rating in multiple games. That's the stuff of legend. Meanwhile, the trio of Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and Amon-Ra St. Brown made history of their own. It was the 8th time all 3 scored in a game, breaking the previous NFL record. Oh, and let's not forget we won a scorigami. Our 52-6 victory marked the first time in league history that score had been recorded. It was also the Jaguars' worst loss. We're not just winning, we're making history every step of the way. On the defensive side, don't test Kirby Joseph too deeply. He continues to make quarterbacks pay. And what a class act he is, teaming up with Jameson Williams to distribute 100 turkeys to families in need. The Lions' pride extends off the field, too, folks. But it's not all roses. The Lions had to make some tough choices in the offseason, like letting Jonah Jackson walk in free agency. Now with the Rams, he's been benched. Meanwhile, Aaron Glenn has this defense playing press coverage at the highest rate in the league. It's a bold strategy, but so far it's working. The stats, the records, the doubters, it's all converging as the Lions enter Week 12 with a 9-1 record, tied for the best in the league. That's their best start since 1934, folks. It's a special time to be a Lions fan. So what do you think? Is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Are we ready to prove Nick Wright and all the doubters wrong and bring a championship back to Detroit? For those who may have missed it, Anzalone suffered a fractured forearm and is expected to be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks. That timetable could see him return for the playoffs, but with the Lions chasing the #1 seed, the question on everyone's mind is, how will Detroit adjust without its defensive captain? Anzalone is much more than just a player, he's the heart and soul of our defense. His mastery of defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn's system, a nearly decade-long honoree, makes him invaluable. He's wearing the green, meaning he relays plays to the rest of the defense. Now, stepping up to fill those gaps is none other than second-year linebacker Jack Campbell. Head coach Dan Campbell isn't worried. He's confident Jack can handle the load. First of all, he's a guy who understands the game, Coach Campbell said. He's a smart football player, he studies it, he works at it. Jack has shown great instincts since his arrival, and in the spring he was given the chance to lead the defense while Anzalone was out during the first OTAs. This won't be entirely new territory for him, and the coach believes Jack will step in and thrive under the added pressure. But Jack Campbell isn't the only piece to this puzzle. Malcolm Rodriguez's recent return from injury couldn't have come at a better time. His versatility provides much-needed depth in a linebacker core that has been hit hard this season. He gives us a lot of flexibility, Coach Campbell said. He can play Will, he can play Sam in space, and he's been playing kind of that big nickel. Against the Jaguars, Rodriguez showed his aggression and natural nose for the ball, making him an integral part of the defensive unit going forward. The big question remains, who fills in as the third linebacker? Coach Campbell hinted that the role could change based on the matchups. We could see more defenders on the field or even five-man fronts. One name that Coach Campbell mentioned, unprompted, was Ben Niemann. Thank God for that guy because he can play every position, Campbell said. Niemann's football IQ and versatility make him a strong candidate to break through. Keep an eye on Trevor Nowask, too. He's already logged 167 defensive snaps this season and could have a bigger role to play in the coming weeks. And let's not forget about the new addition to the practice squad, David Long. While it's unclear how soon he'll make an impact, Long brings a wealth of experience to the table with 75 games and 49 starts. The Lions coaching staff will likely take their time integrating him, but his instincts, aggressiveness, and special teams experience make him a valuable asset. Now, let's shift gears for a second. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson's future with the team has also been a hot topic. Johnson is one of the league's hottest head coaching candidates. Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated highlighted how Johnson might prioritize a stable roster, a patient owner, and a quarterback he can win with. Corey Woodruff of USA Today even speculated on a potential move to the Cincinnati Bengals if Zach Taylor is fired. With Joe Burrow at QB, it's an attractive destination, but for now, Lions fans, we have to appreciate the magic Johnson is working here in Detroit. So, what do you think, Lions fans? Can Jack Campbell and Malcolm Rodriguez rise to the occasion and fill the void left by Anzalone? Are we confident in the depth of our linebacker core, or do you think the Lions need more reinforcements? And when it comes to Ben Johnson's potential departure, how do you feel about him possibly taking on a head coaching role elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any updates. Go Lions!